everyone, welcome to the next video in this series from the Autumn Harvest book by Teresa Goodridge, and we are working on this ever so cute Halloweeny page. Now I'm going to do some of the details up in the sky, I think now. Perhaps this little gnome witch might be a fun place to start. Let's come in a little bit closer so you can see a bit better. Gosh, it's so dark. I'm just going to put my light on. It looks like it's about to pour with rain. It's been raining on and off all day actually, which isn't surprising considering the time of year, but there we go. I'm going to get a dark brown for the broomstick and just get going there. Polychromos pencils. What should we use? Walnut brown. I like doing a slightly darker broomstick, and then when it comes to doing the bristly bit, it's a lot lighter. But I'm going to make it quite dark at the bottom, a bit lighter at the top, and we'll use a second brown to sort of finish it off. So it's not really dark. What should we use? I'm going to brighten it up a little bit with a raw umber. Actually, I think it is raining. I just got distracted there looking out of the window. Sorry, I'm shading what I'm doing. There we go. It's been an odd day today. I had these sort of expectations of how it was going to pan out, and it really hasn't. I mean, I know we all get days like that. But my son was supposed to be going into uni about 11. Brown ochre, we're leaving for the train, you know. I'm going to do the bristles. I'm just going to go over them all with this. And he ended up saying he was feeling a bit poorly. I wasn't going to go in, which is fair enough. But I had all these plans for when he left, and I didn't. So he didn't. So it's all a bit different. Oh, it's my doorbell. Hold on a moment. That was just the delivery being picked up. DPD, which is a parcel. I don't know what DPD stands for, but it's a parcel company. And yeah, my son's headphones broke yesterday, but they're under manufacturer's warranty, so I had phoned up and organised for them to be sent back so that he can get a replacement, which is good news. But had to wait in for them to be collected. So I knew I was going to be here, so I was going to just after my son left, I thought, oh, I'll phone my mum and then do some ironing and blah blah. And no, I didn't do any of those things. I did some things. I did write a newsletter. I'm going to grab the raw umber that we were using earlier to put a little bit of shadow in here, because this isn't all straight. Like here, I think there might be some sort of, this bit might be a little bit further back. It might be a bit darker. Oh, it suddenly started pouring with rain. Yeah, so I wrote a newsletter. Oh, I wrote a blog article for my Ko-fi. I wrote a newsletter. I put a load of videos up on TikTok. I put some pictures up on some of my social media pages. I coloured a Halloween picture. So yeah, I didn't sit idly by. Had lots of fun. Green gold I'm going to use for this tied up bit. I'm never quite sure whether it's tied up with a bit of the wicker or whether it's a different colour, but why not use a different colour, I say. There we go. Now, this gnome is interesting. A sort of moustache, but with a bow on and wearing a sort of robe. We've got stripy tights, let me think. Now, I tend to think witchy stripy tights are black and purple. I'm going to do that. But I think the shoes need to be black as well. So I'm going to grab the mauve and I will use it for the centre stripe. No, I shall use it for the bottom stripe, sorry. So it's not near the shoe. So if I decide to do the shoes in black, I've got a different colour next to it, like that. So I will do my black stripe with the black pencil. like that. You can barely see the purple now. I'm just thinking about these shoes while we're down here. I think because we've got this sole part, I'm going to do that bit black, and then maybe do the shoes in a dark grey rather than black. You know, we've got a night sky here behind us. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with that yet. No, you don't want too much black everywhere. This, and we've got bats, they're going to be black. Cold grey 6. Although, are bats black? It's quite a light layer. I wonder sometimes if they're dark, if they're sort of browny grey, like a dark sepia or something. I'm going to leave a bit of a lighter area on the shoe, just to make them look like they're sort of shiny, clean leather type thing. There we go. Now, again, I think the sort of hairy beardy bit I'll leave in white. I think we can do the nose actually in the same way we did the other gnome, so I can do that bit next while I'm procrastinating doing everything else. So I used the light flesh. I think I did a darker bit around the edge, didn't I? But I don't know if I did that in light flesh or whether I used a different colour. I remember how I did it. So I layered it up around here a lot. In fact, I didn't, but that's what I should have done. And then less here. That's right. And then we're going to do the hand. This hand doesn't look like it's wearing gloves, because I can, well, it could be, but we can see the fingers. They're certainly not wearing mittens like the other one. I'm putting it a bit darker at the bottom where there would be more shadow. So you just layer it up a bit like that. And then grab my white. Oh, it was the ivory I used, wasn't it, for the nose? I seem to remember. For the centre bit. Just to burnish it a bit without making it darker. There we go. Now we have a hat. I'm thinking really carefully because I've got to think about my background, what's going to stand out, what colour am I going to do. I am wondering whether to, yeah, let's do that. Let's go with a manganese violet, a little bit different for the hat. You know, you could go black, everyone goes black, so do a little bit different. So what I'm going to do, let me think, I think I'm going to go over all the main part of the hat first in a very light layer of this. Now I know some of you find light layering very difficult. Hold the pencil nearer to the base, not here, this end, okay, and just use it gently on the side, like that. Oh, the rain is pitter-pattering. It's not nice out there. I hope it clears up a bit before my son has to come home. He's okay at the minute, dry at uni. But there we go. Sometimes his friend gives him a lift. I'm going to make it darker under here, like that. And then just scumble that in towards the middle of the hat. Like that. This side. Make it darker down here. And then scumble it in. Hear a loud talking type noise. I think one of my neighbours is listening to podcast, radio, TV, something like that, you know, loud. It's just a voice talking. I do sometimes wonder how radio shows survive, and how, I also wonder what's the difference between a radio show and a podcast. Let me know that. I mean, a podcast, in my experience, most of them are just an interview with somebody, whereas a radio show can be playing music and stuff, I guess. But it just feels like pre-recorded radio sometimes. I was watching a podcast the other day from Zoe, a health food company sort of thing. They do lots of studies on different eating things. Someone had recommended it to me. Yeah, because it was about menopause, eating for menopause really. What sorts of things. This looks a bit weird to me. Yeah, what sorts of things you should eat in, that sort of thing. I pretty much do the right thing, to be honest. I mean, I could be better, couldn't we all? You know, at avoiding the old salty, fatty, crispy snacks. I don't have sugar, but, you know, crisps are my downfall. But I don't have that many, and, you know, I feel it's all fine, really. Now, the sort of ribbon and these ribbons I thought we could match. That would be nice. Where should I go? Delft blue. So I'm going to fade it towards the buckle. Oh, excuse me, hiccups again. It's got hiccups. I'm sure I don't have hiccups until I sit in this room and record videos. So we want our lightest part to sort of line up with that. So put a little bit there. And yawning as well. I never noticed myself yawning until I come and sit in here. So I don't know what's up with that. Now we'll just fade that centre bit a little bit. Not too much, but make it look like it's a nice sort of shiny ribbon. That bit's going to be dark. And that bit. And then this bit I'm going to put a bit of a lighter bit in the middle to make it look a bit more rounded. Do the same sort of thing here. So this ribbon is coming around here, and then we can fade the centre bit like that. Yeah. Now the sort of robe. Sort of sitting side saddle, aren't they? Oh, while I've still got this Delft blue, we need to do this bit, don't we? Robes. Let's have a little think. Could go quite pink, or I'm yawning again. It's because I was talking about yawning. I'm so sorry. Let's use, is that the crimson? Yeah, I'm going to try the crimson. If it ends up being a bit too bright, I can always tone it down with a different colour. So I'm just going to, again, just start lightly. Like that. So in here it's going to be dark and shadowy, so we can really layer it up there, and then under here there'll be more shadow. I mean, if you're never sure where to put the shadow, then you can look at photographs and think about where, but I tend to think about if the light's coming down from the top, it's going to hit the top of the sleeve, and that's how I do my shadow. It really is nothing too excuse me, complicated. Because, you know, I want to keep it fairly simple. And then some shadow down at the bottom of the robe here. Or dress. I don't know. Dress, robe. I've got no idea. Because I've been taught a little bit about shading when I did art at school. And you can imagine that was a few years ago. But not really that much. And we tended to do observational stuff, so you would be copying something, which is great and easier because it's there, you just have to look, you know. And some people do find that hard. I'm not being funny, but copying what you see rather than taking out of your head. Now, I used to find being able to copy something quite a relief, because I can't visualise, so having to try and just do something out of my head, I just found almost impossible. I'm grabbing this purple violet and I'm just going to do the edge of the hat here. So it was nice to be able to copy something, but I had to have it quite nearby. I found if I had something right on the desk here to copy, that was good. Because I can't visualise, I can't hold the image in my head very well, so it's right there, you can just do it. Trying to copy a landscape that's far away, if you're sitting in observing a hill and I found that much harder, because by the time you look away and then you refocus on your paper, I found it was much harder to transfer that across. It may have been partly as well to do because my eyesight isn't brilliant, so maybe it makes it harder to change your focus back and forth. I mean, I was young when I did it. I'm going to use the burnt umber now to start our buckle. We're going to do it the same way as we did the one on our down there. So like that and that, so a little bit on the corner and then top and bottom on the edges like that. And then the colour I want is here. Already used it, the brown ochre. Like that, and then we need the green gold, which I've also got beside me here. Green gold. And I'm going to make that my only other colour. So you want a little white bit in the corner or in the centre, so you've got what looks like a little bit of a shine on the buckle. Right. Now we have some bats. I'm going to do those next. I'm going to bring them all into view. Whoops. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So, I think black. I think black is what I want to do. So here's my black. And, there you go. I'm going to start here. I'm just going to put down a layer of black and have a look and a think. Because where the wings are shaped, you could put some lines in and make it darker in different areas. But it hasn't been drawn like that. And I could just colour it flat black bat, and I think like a silhouette against the sky might actually work quite well. So I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go over it layer, layering up until it's quite intensely black. I think that's what I'll do. I'll be listening out for the postman. The postman is bringing the new seal for our shower door. We started using the new shower and it is leaking a little bit, but hopefully the new seal will help. But it all just leaks onto the mat, which isn't ideal because the mat is then sitting on the floor wet. But obviously the mat gets wet anyway when you get in and out of the shower, you step on it. We have a good fan in the bathroom. I should really pop it over the radiator, but the towels are on the radiator, it's a bit tricky. But anyway, I'm going to go back again and just block it all through so that I get, as sort of black as I can, really. I mean, actually, no, it could be a lot blacker than this. You could use a pen if you want it really black, but sometimes I feel that you can see that it's pen and nothing else is, and it looks a little odd. I've seen people do it very effectively, but I haven't yet got the worked out how to do that. So I tend to just stick with the pencil. I find that, if you're using a pen for a background or a little white detail or something, it's not so bad. But if you use a pen, I'm just going to sharpen up to block in a few items, but not all of it. It's a bit. But some people use a black pen as a base and then colour on top, and then that seems to, for me, that's okay. You can make it work, but it is very tricky. There we go. Our next one. See, I'm thinking, what am I going to do these stars like? I could do the same as the hat down there, you can't see. Or I could do them with a pen, make them sparkle You know, there's so many options, and this sky. The sky's befuddling me at the moment. I'm wondering, you know, do I do a galaxy sky? Do I do like like the sun's rising or setting? But it's not, because we've already got all the stars and moon out. I don't really just want to do one colour though, because I think that will be quite tedious, but also difficult to get a nice even finish. I think it's better if you're mixing up colours, then you can, it doesn't matter so much. So I am just having a think really. At the moment the galaxy sky is winning in my brain, but it could be done with pastels. I've never tried a galaxy sky with pastels before, but we've got such little spaces that I'm not sure that I could quite get it to work. Do this spider as well. Oh, you can't see him. There he is, in black. Just all the little legs. Now I realise we haven't done the cat either. I feel like the cat should be black. I mean, all the animals so far are black. Try and put some fur into this. It's how he's drawn furry. Yes, and black cats are obviously Halloweeny. But I'm looking at him. Here he is. He's got this sort of tufty bit here, which I think might be white, and his paws could be white. I was just getting my hanky out, but my urge to sneeze has gone away, so just going to start making some strokes on our cat. Some fur, and we don't want him too black or else his eyes are going to disappear. I just realised I'm looking at his little nose there, which I'm going to do dark. I'm going to go over the eyes and the inside the ears, make them much darker. I was just colouring a picture next door, and I realised I haven't done the noses of the bears that are in the picture. I thought I'd finished it, but I guess not. That's quite bright white if we leave that white, isn't it? It's going to really stand out. Do it like that. It's sort of lighter black. Or else I think it wouldn't quite work. Okay, now moon and stars we're going to do next. I'm thinking what I might do possibly is leave the background to for the next video and just do the moon and stars today. Now the moon, I'm going to use a cold grey. That's one. No, cold grey 2, I think. Slightly darker. Cold grey 2. And colour in the moon. I just want to get it as even as I can. Like that. Then you get the silver, the metallic silver pencil, and colour over it. I realise I'm zoomed out a long way. You don't really need to see what I'm doing. It's not, I'm just blocking in some colour as evenly as I can. It's quite difficult. But I want to show you, you want to see the stars, and I do those in a minute. Now we did the stars on the hat. I can't remember what colour we used underneath the gold. I think I'm going to want to do something similar for the stars, but I'm going to use a brighter yellow underneath to try and make them look a little bit different than the hat, basically. There's our moon. Trying to get it smooth. I find the silver doesn't smooth down particularly nicely. Now, so I'm going to use, whoops, this one. This is the light chrome yellow. So it's much more vibrant and bright yellow. Sharpen it up and colour every star with it. And then, oh, my voice, I don't know where it's gone. And then colour it afterwards in the gold pencil. And I'm still thinking about this sky. I've got a few ideas now. Sorry, I've gone very gruff. I don't know why. I put some of my videos up on TikTok, and the comments on there are a bit more random. Sometimes they're just spam or rubbish, you know. But someone wrote, starts by sounding like an 8-year-old, finishes sounding like an 80-year-old. I thought, oh dear. I didn't know whether it was just a spammy comment, but it was quite funny, because I probably you know, had a good cough before I started and then got gruff as I went through the video. I don't mind. It just amused me. It's nice to come through here and do a bit of colouring. I was doing all sorts of computery things next door, and having to come and make a video means that I have to step away from the computer, and I'm forced to sit down and have some fun, which is lovely. And you know, just colour away at my own pace and not think about, yeah, what I was doing was very productive. I've got a good few things ticked off my mental to-do list. I haven't written it down, but I knew things needed doing. I am waiting for an email though. I made a transfer this morning of some money, and normally when it appears in the place that I transferred it to, I get a message and it hasn't arrived. So here we are with our metallic gold back over all the stars. So I'm a bit worried about what's happened to that, so I need to check that out. But apart from that, everything's going well. So I'm waiting for a delivery. I know that I've got something arriving tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. I have got some other things arriving. There's a book. I've got some other books arriving. I think on Thursday. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so that'll be exciting as well. I always think this looks green. It's a very old pencil. But there we go. If it looks too weird when I finish, I might just stick a gel pen on top of it. But, you know, we'll see how it looks, because until it's got a background around it, we can't tell, you know. It's, at the moment, it's just sitting there on top of the white paper, and that's very different. Our moon is really dark as well. That silver's very dark, so I might either outline it in white or cover it completely in white. But again, we'll just wait and see. There we go. I think this might be the last Halloween picture I colour. I don't know. I always start the season early because I make videos in advance. I always start things quite early, and then by the time it actually comes nearer to the whatever time of year, I feel like I've had enough of colouring now. I do that with Easter as well. Christmas, not quite so much so. I don't get bored of colouring Christmas. I just want to colour Christmas all the time. But it happens with other things. But I've got, yeah, I mean, some of the books that I'm expecting to get this month are Christmas books, which is nice. I've completed 2 copies of Johanna's Christmas, which I really enjoyed, but once you've done 2 copies, I felt like I didn't really need another copy of a book, not for a while anyway. So I've been doing other things. With Rita Berman's winter book, there's plenty in there, and then I've got another Christmas book. I've got the Night Before Christmas book, which looks beautiful, and a Matchstick Mouse Christmas book. I've got a second copy which I'm working through. Now sky. I'm thinking 2 possibilities. We could either do a galaxy sky with just splodges of lots of different colours, or we could do a sky where it's darker around the edge and lighter towards the middle, so that it just yeah, that sort of effect. I think the galaxy sky might be easier, to be honest, because coming in from the edge, you have to make the colours blend really nicely. With a galaxy sky, you don't. So I'm going to start with my blue violet. I'm going to go for a galaxy sky. So I'm going to just start here. So it's going to be my dark aero blue violet, and then I'm just going to fade it a bit like this. You want to fade it in a fairly big area so that you can blend your next colour into it. And here, and we're just going to do patches of colour all over the place. I've just got to be brave and hope it works. But I know it will. Now I know I said I was going to put some white on the on here. I may or may not do that, but not yet. Now I'm going to keep this, try and keep the colour so that it's not near. See, it's another advantage of doing it like this, is that I can sort of make sure that there's no purple next to purple. Like if I choose to do some blues, I won't put them anywhere near this hat, for example. So it doesn't matter really where you put each colour apart from that. It is a good idea to try and avoid putting colours near each other. Now this is called Blue Violet, and I do like it. It's very, very violet-y, not so much bluey, just a dark violet in my mind, which is very nice. It's the sort of purple I like. I'm not so keen on the pinky purples, which we will be using. So let's put a bit up here. See, I might add some sparkle to the stars, that sort of thing. I might white pen around the clouds a bit. You know, there's all sorts of things that I can do, different options. But we'll just get some sky down first. I think I'll put a bit here. My husband was so late up this morning, so late to bed last night. Came to bed at 1 o'clock. He said, and he had to be up early for work. He said, oh, I just wanted to try something out and couldn't really get it to work and something or other. I don't know. It's some computery thing. But, put a bit here. So yeah, I was up so late, and I don't know how he can then stay awake in the day. Maybe he can't, who knows, or concentrate. I just couldn't. I prioritised my sleep more than a lot of people do. Okay, light red violet. So we're going to go, I'm going to do a bit here, but because it's quite close to the hat colour, we're just going to fade it off there, like that, and then bring it under here instead. Like that. Down here, we'll do a bit down here, right from the bottom, why not? The edge of the grass. And fade it into this bit. A little bit in here. Like that, just a tad. I'm gonna put, I was gonna put a bit there, but it's gonna, we don't want it all the way along the ground everywhere, so we'll put it here. Now the good thing about doing a background as well is that if you have gone out of the lines or whatever, this sort of background is so forgiving, so you can just colour over that and sort of almost make it look like it's all part of the idea, you know, put a bit there. So it's, you can get away with it basically. So it's quite good, especially if your background is quite dark. Sometimes I don't like to do a dark background because I think it draws the eye away from the picture, but I think this will work once it's blended and stuff. We've added all the different colours in it. Now the colour choices, well, I'm just at the moment picking colours I haven't used already today. I may then dig from the other pile, but because I don't want to do the same colour as this, really, but I tend to use purples, blues and pinks. They tend to be my mainstay for Galaxy. I know Galaxy skies can have reds and oranges and greens and things, but I just feel that this colour scheme works for me. This cobweb is going to be coloured in a silver pen when I sort of get round to doing my final pen marks. I don't want to go around that corner too much. Maybe that will do of that one. Now, where should we go now? Just looking, sorry for the delay, just thinking and picking, and yeah, I think we'll go for some blues. I think we'll go for the cobalt blue-greenish. Okay, just realise you can't see that bottom bit, I'm really sorry. There you go. So I'm going to go down here with this one. And then blend into this colour, like that. I'm going to put a bit this side as well. Like that. I'm not sure, I think I'm going to use another colour as well, so I'm not going to use this at the bottom because again we've got this at the bottom and this at the bottom. If I use this one at the bottom again, it's going to be all too much, too similar. So I'll put a bit in here and fade it into that colour and fade it into this colour. I feel like I need a lighter, like a lighter pink, because I feel like we've got a sort of purpley pink. I want a lighter one in a minute. That's what it's sort of saying to me. Speaking, I don't know if you can hear it. She's gone totally batty. Batty, here they are, batty. My sister used to have a bat, talking bats. A plastic bat, not a real bat. And it used to be called Batty, obviously. I mean, what else would you call it? And I think she won it at a fair or something like that, or got it as a, oh, I think it was a Christmas party gift or something, you know, when it's sort of just a random thing that you get. And she thought it was hilarious. And she would just leave it like in the bed, in your bed, not her bed, So you open out the sheets to get into bed, you put your legs in, there's this like cold plastic thing, and it's the flipping plastic bat. Oh dear, she had some fun with that bat. So she used to have, remember she used to have a lead soldier. I think it came from a charity shop or something. It didn't sell them. And she used to chew it or suck it, you know, in bed. My goodness, couldn't have done her any good. But you just didn't think. I mean, my parents didn't know that she did that. I mean, it might not have been lead. We'll just hope it isn't, really. But the paint all came off. So, but I guess you just didn't know or think about it back, you know, then. She also had a luminous sort of glow-in-the-dark thing. And I remember there later became all this, it was a key ring, I think, talk about them being dangerous. But I think it was more that if it opened up and the stuff that provides the glow-in-the-dark thing, whatever, was poisonous. So I think it was something to do with that people used to panic about. Now I've got a blue hat here and I've got blue pencils, so I'm going to avoid it by putting some blue here. And this is going to be my last bit in this colour, I think. Right. Yeah, I want a pink. I could go like magenta. I think I am going to. I think this sort of fuchsia pink, Madder Lake light, purple pink are all a bit too Barbie pinky, if you know what I mean. The magenta and red violet are too dark, and the middle purple pink is a bit too similar to the light red violet. So we'll go for this one, which is a lot lighter, which is the light magenta. There we go. We'll put a bit down here actually. We're gonna, this won't be my final colour. I'm gonna do another one as well. I'm not quite sure what yet. I'm so tempted to do a light violet. And there you go. A light violet in Polychromos, yeah. I have a light violet Polychromos pencil. It is a discontinued colour. I think it would work brilliantly with this, but because you haven't got one, I'm not going to do it. I bet none of you. I wonder if any of you have got one. Apparently there was also a light black and a light blue, which were also all discontinued at the same time. So I discovered. And it's quite exciting, isn't it? I think. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm being boring. I don't know. I find it interesting and exciting. So, yes. But I wrote to Faber Castell and asked them, you know, what other colours were discontinued, what colours were brought in instead. But apparently, according to another source, I don't know how reliable it was, they used to only do 100 pencils. And when they brought in the 120 set, they changed them. So that might have been when they discontinued those. So it might have not been that they cut any, they might have brought quite a few in replacement, you know, when they did the big set. But it was a long time ago. I think it was in 2012, maybe. So sort of before the colouring craze started, really. You know, because of course the colouring craze started when Johanna Basford released her first book in 2013. She was the first adult colouring book that there was. It wasn't a thing before that. So before that, the only people buying coloured pencils would have been coloured pencil artists rather than colourists. I bet colour pencil manufacturers were thrilled. Suddenly they had a whole new audience. or customer base, I suppose is the right word. Right, now we could go purple. I've got a violet which I might use, actually. Violet, that's what I'm going to do. It is a little bit different to that dark blue. Now my blends aren't perfect by any means, but this isn't my final layer of colour, because once I have finished this background I will be smooshing it up with a white pencil. Now you might think, white? Why white? Well, I find it fades it back just a tad, which is good because I don't want my background dominating my whole page, and it yeah, that's basically it really. It sort of works with every colour, but I'm not going to use the Polychromos white. I'm going to use the Prismacolor white because it lays down better on the page. It's not going to smush the colours because Faber Castell colours don't smush, but it will fade them back a bit and just bring it all together, hopefully. But I'm just basically filling up all the gaps with this. I've decided this is going to be my last of these base colours. Now doing a background in pencil does take quite a long time, but because this one's got lots of little bits all over the background, tree branches, clouds, bats, stars, etc., it doesn't feel so much of a big daunting task. If you were doing it on a page that had nothing much, had big patches of background, then I would always use pastel because it's just too daunting. Yeah, too daunting. I'm trying to think where the other delivery is from that I'm... Oh, where's the delivery from? Oh, I don't know, because I'm trying to think what time of day it will come, because certain, like Amazon deliveries for us tend to always come in the evening, for example. So that's... so I always know that it will probably be about 6 o'clock, something like that, before anything arrives from Amazon. But other deliveries come a bit earlier in the day. But this particular one I'm waiting for, the shower seal, I'm not even sure what company it's coming from. My husband bought it online from a company that just specialises in shower seals. Can you imagine working for that company? Wow. Ooh. But yeah, and so yeah, so I'm going to make this bit quite dark here because I'm not really just filling gaps. There's a huge gap here, so there we go. Yes, so we don't know what delivery company. He might not. He might know, but he didn't tell me. He usually does. He always gets, when there's a delivery, he gets really like worried. So he's like, we've got to be in. He's like, yeah, I'll be in. We've got to, oh, it's the time it's going to arrive. Look out the window. Are they coming? I'm like, they'll ring the bell. No, but are they coming? Is there, you know, he gets really worried about parcels being left outside, whether they're his or someone else's. And most delivery people don't leave parcels outside. Most of them will ring the bell. So I think it's, who was it that used to not, Yodel used to be a bit bad for not ringing the bell. And they would just leave it outside, even if they wouldn't even try and see if you were in, which was a bit irritating. But I think most companies who use parcel delivery services know that the customers find that irritating, so they tend to not allow their drivers to do that anymore. So they have to ring the bell and at least try and see if you're there. It's fair enough if you're not there, They just usually leave it inside the recycle bin or something like that, which is horrible. And if it's recycling day, you lose it. But or behind the bin on the floor in the rain, there's another place for a parcel. Right, oh, here. It all looks a bit scruffy at the moment, doesn't it? But the white makes a really big difference. So use the Prismacolor white, and I'm just going to start going over it while I talk. Use a Prismacolor white or a luminance or a Derwent drawing pencil, Chinese white. So you've got a layer of white. Can you see that? It's a layer on top. So it sort of blurs our vision almost, so we can't see the messy borders or anything. And it would also set it back so it looks different to the rest of the page. Oh, it's raining again. Which helps us to be able to more easily at a glance distinguish between background and foreground, which I think is important. Now you don't have to worry about the fact that your pencil might get purple on the end and then pink and then blue, because we're trying to smush it all together anyway. So if the colours, if you get a blob of blue on your pink or whatever, it doesn't matter at all. I don't know if you can hear the rain falling, pitter patter again. It was so loud in the night. It was about 11 o'clock last night, and it suddenly started heaving it down, and I could hear it on my son's bedroom window. He's got roof lights, so they're really loud. Like, it's a Velux window in the roof, and it's very loud. And then I could hear it on my window as well, so I could hear it in both directions. One out of the bedroom door and one my window, and it was really loud. But still, we're lucky we haven't had anything too severe. Apparently there are going to be some tornadoes in the south of the country, but further south than us, luckily. I mean, we are quite south. My son was like, well, what is further south? I was like, there's quite a lot of things further south than us. You know, Cornwall, Devon, Somerset, lots of places. It's like, oh yeah. But I don't know, I haven't seen any evidence, but they tend to be quite small, so they might like wreck a shed or something, you know, take a chimney, but nothing like horrendous usually. We don't, it's very rare for us to get them anyway, really. I think we do get a fair few little ones, but one that's really dangerous is rare. I know there's some bad weather in Florida at the moment. We get a bit of on our news about other countries, not loads. Not weather news usually. We're very egocentric in our news. I think it's probably true of most countries. You can do this in any order, by the way. I don't know why I've decided to come down to the bottom and just do all the bottom bits, but it's just what I fancy doing at the minute. So the thing you have to try and be careful of when you're doing this is not to drag the colour in from anything apart from the background, because you don't want to smush in any of this green or the black or, you know, anything like that that isn't background colour, because it will then won't look right. If this background is too much for you, you could leave it white. You could use a black pen, you could use a purple pen for a background. Just try and use a different shade of colour to what you've used already on the page. What else could you use? You could use a silver pen, that would be quite nice. Yeah, if you want to use pastel, you would need to apply them with a very fine tool, maybe a Q-tip, cotton bud, you know, that sort of thing, or think what might work. Yeah, I think that's about it really. One of those sort of makeup type spongy things that's just fine, like that looks a bit like a Q-tip, pointy thing. Yeah, I'll need to be careful. Yeah, I've just remembered one other job on my mental to-do list I was going to do. I need to think about what to ask my parents to get me for Christmas. My dad, sharpening. My dad messaged me the other day and said, I'm buying your mum X thing. You might like to get her this. I said, okay, I will. So yesterday I went into town and bought it. He messaged me today and went, I forgot what I told you to get her, so I got this and this, one of them being the thing that I got. And so can you get this instead? And I had to say, oh, I already got it. So he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'll exchange the one that I've got. And I said, well, if you have trouble, let me know, but I'm not sure if I can exchange mine because I got it from an independent shop. It might be okay, but you know, I don't know. So he's going to try and exchange. I don't know where he would have got it, to be honest. I don't know. But I was chatting to him on WhatsApp, so I'm not sure where he would have been shopping. So I don't know. He might have done it online, which means he might have had time to cancel it, but it would be a pain to send back. Package it up and send it off. But anyway. But there we go. Hopefully it's okay. But I've also asked him to think about what he wants. And I know it's early days, but I like to be organised, and it's nice to think, well, I've done X and I've done Y. I sort of, I think I know what I'm going to get. We're going to ask father-in-law if he wants. He goes to a particular place, sort of hall, I suppose it is, and they do theatre performances and has cinema and stuff like that. And he goes there a lot. He's a member. You buy a yearly membership, and then you can go along and watch all the different things. So we were going to buy him his yearly membership for that, but I don't know how much it is. We've done it before, but now he's got a companion to do it for her as well. So I'm not sure whether it might be a bit pricey, but sharpening again. But we'll do a bit of investigation and find that out. So we could do that for him and her, and that will be one done. And we don't buy for his brother. His brother's always said no. So, but we buy for his children. But I usually just I send the money. They're 16 and 14. I think they'd rather choose their own present. Maybe that's a bit boring, but I know at their age I probably, I probably would have liked money. I may have saved it, I may have spent it, probably spent it, knowing me at that age. But I learnt a lot from spending. I've got a blank bit there, look. I haven't coloured any in, can you see? I'm just going to get a bit of this this light red violet and put in there. Yeah, I learned a lesson early on, because my sister always seemed to have more money than me, because she never spent her money and I did. And now it's the other way round. I've always got more savings than she has, and I like it. It gives me a sense of security and, you know, a feeling of security that, you know, I've got some money behind me if I need it. And sorry, that's a bit messy there. And that be there for retirement, I hope. You know, it did used to feel a long way from retirement, but now husband's already semi-retired. I think, wow. But he keeps saying he's never going to retire, but he will. interesting actually, because my cousin was saying she's retired, and she was saying she could have stayed on for a little bit of extra time and got a bit more pension, but she just got to the point where she was like, no, I want my doorbell. That was the postman bringing husband's parcel. Now, I've nearly finished this now, and it is going to be quite a long video, but I thought I would just finish it now, you know, finish the page. So my eyes have gone all bleary. It's because it's so dark. My lamp is very bright. But yeah, poor postman was absolutely drenched. And he was in a van as well. Well, he wasn't in the van at the front door, he had got out. But yeah, it was nasty out there, heavy rain. But yeah, at least the parcel has now arrived. I was hoping he might bring some other parcels. You know how you do. But no, it's not Christmas yet. It's too early for parcels. I'm trying to organise what I would do with my parents, because I'm already booking things up for December, and we're going to them for a while, for one day, for a family get together. I mean, it's not going to be on Christmas Day because my sister can't make it, but it will be, I think it's going to be 21st or 22nd of December, I think they said, but they've got to find out if that's okay with my nieces as well. Now with a galaxy sky, I will often put lots of stars in it in the sense of white dots, because I find that helps it to sit better somehow. But I may or may not do that here. I'm just looking to see what I've missed, but I think I'm almost there. Yeah, I think I'm there. Right, now the clouds next. I'm going to grab my white pen. I'm going to go around the edge. I don't want this black line here. I'm just going to try and pen that out. If it's not completely eliminated, that's okay, but just to knock it back because it's so dark. I want them to look white, not with the black. These obviously stand out from the sky now. It's don't worry if you go out the lines like I just have. It's a cloud. Doesn't quite matter what shape it is. There we go. I'm just going to do that with all of these. Now I was going to put some white pen somewhere else. I'm trying to remember where. My cloud is looking orange. My eyes are obviously misbehaving because the eyeballs look pink. I don't know what's going on with my eyes. Be better soon. Say the light is quite glary. Doesn't help things. There we are. And then this one as well. Now I've got to think, all the way around this picture there's a line. You can see like a little frame. I'm trying to think what colour to do that with, what pen. I think I'm not going to do that on camera because it's really easy and obvious what to do. But I'm just trying to think what colour to do it really. And I've got some various coloured Posca pens. I've got a pink Posca, it's very luminous, fluorescent. I don't think that's quite right. Sure, I was going to do some white dots on this broomstick gnome, but there isn't anything there. Maybe I was going to go around the stars. with a white pen like I did on the hat. I'm thinking of that because I was going to go around them in a glitter pen or a gold pen, but I think, oh, I know what I was going to do. It was the beard, wasn't it? So just going over the black bits of the beard a bit. It's not beard though, is it? It's like hair. That's it. That I remembered what I was going to do. There we go. Yeah. So I'm going to stop the video now. I'm going to go around every star with a white pen, and I'm going to go around the edge probably with a black one. Probably. And then I'm going to finish and take a photo. So that'll be it. Yeah, I'm going to do black. So white around the stars, black around the edge, and I'm going to finish, make that it. So I'm going to say thank you for watching now, and you will see the completed picture right at the very end. So thank you for watching. Hope you have a really super day and happy colouring.